ilaha illallah. Ya Allah a taimaka mu. Ya Allah a taimaka mu.
Ku ci uba na nan ba tsoyu ya mutu mu huta maka.
Ya Allah da.
Ci uba na ya mutu ma mu huta da wani buro uba.
Ya Allah da.
Danin ga ba kowa yaushe suna rena ma mutane wayo.
Ya Allah. Allah ka yahi mu. Don girman Allah ka yahi mu haka ne.
Wallahi baka buku ba.
Don girman Allah ku yahi mu. Wai don ya hankuri don Allah. Ya hankuri don Allah. Don Allah ya hankuri. Wallahi ban rikon su. Wallahi ku taɓa shi ba ni.
Hello? Naji.
Allah ya hankuri kan baba a taimaka mu da Allah.
Naji.
Baba a ce rayuwa ta baba. Da Allah a taimaka ni. A taimaka.
Na?
Allah. Don Allah baba ka taimaka ni. Don Allah ya hankuri baba.
Ku tare man tumunci
Allah baba ya hankuri. A taimaka min baba. Don Allah ka yi hankuri. A yi hankuri. Baba. Don Allah ka taimaka min baba. Don Allah don girma Allah ka yi hankuri. Don Allah. Don Allah ka yi hankuri. Don girma Allah. Wayo Allah da. Wayo Allah. Baba don Allah ka taimaka min.
Wayo Allah.
Wayo Allah da.
Allah ba.
Don Allah baba ka taimaka min.
Don Allah ba sha.
Don Allah ka yi hankuri. Don Allah.
Don Allah ba sha.
Wayo Allah da.
Kakari.
Don Allah ka yi hankuri baba. Don Allah.
Don Allah ba sha kan.
Don Allah ka yi hankuri. Don Allah ka yi hankuri.
Don Allah ba sha. Don Allah ba sha. Don Allah ba sha kan.
Hello. Welcome. This is Say a Prayer, guys. May Nigeria never happen to you. My name is Richie Adewusi. It's still that time of the week, Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, US and Canada, and 1 p.m. West Africa time, including Nigeria. These are not happy times about Nigeria and Nigerians. And before now, some followers, some community members have asked, why am I always wearing black on this program? I don't think any other color fits the issues I've raised or we've been raising on this podcast, this live stream from inception till now. Okay, yeah. Because I believe in responding to queries that community members throw, that I should respond to. I respond to everything really, no matter how, so long as I see them, I respond. And I need to, as always, do some housekeeping this episode first, then we'll go into the program. Today we are discussing security, if you like, insecurity. Okay, leaders can only lead the living. Okay, like David asked in the Bible in Psalm, say, can the dead praise you? Can the dead vote? Can the dead pay taxes? Can the dead? No, leaders need to keep citizens, need to ensure the safety of life and property of the citizens that they seek to lead, or that they've been entrusted with leading. Okay, so it's important, and that's a backdrop to our discussions today. It's very disturbing issues. This morning, as I got woken up by a message that one of the children, a girl child, one of the 39 children abducted in those from those schools in Oyo, has passed on. I don't know how much more tears would have to share. I don't know. And for some clarifications are important here, that more would be made evident in the course of the program. It's not as if, I've had to engage community members who, like I keep saying, have preferred to send me private messages instead of making their comments in the chat or comment section, so that everybody could learn from the questions that I asked or comments that are made and the responses that will come. But that has not been happening. So I've had to be engaging community members and other followers, subscribers who send me messages directly. And some of them I bring here. I don't need to mention their name, because if they want their names, linked, they will put their comments there. Somebody was like, "Oh, Peter Obi will never become the president of Nigeria, and Peter Obi is bitter. He's only just expressing bitterness and all of that." And I'm like, wow, where there's bitterness, but that's by the way, choices are choices. Make your choices, but let Nigerians also be able to make their choices. In the face of what's on ground now, you look for solutions, not parochialism of any type, okay? And I need to put something on the record here. I don't belong to any political party. I never have. I never will belong to, as a registered card-carrying member of any political party. It's never happened. But then, whether you like it or not, you're a political animal. Whether you like it or not, you are a member of society, whether you are in Nigeria or outside Nigeria or whatever country, whatever society you live in, you are expected to play specific civic roles. The least you can do is to make your choices known. Let people know why you've made it. It's free choices. And that's exactly what this season demands. That both the government in power and the opposition get to present themselves to Nigeria and Nigerians and the world, okay, as to what they would do differently to get Nigeria out of the quagmire that it's been now for a long while. Must not necessarily created by the present administration, but they are the ones in power. That's the issue. That's the issue. This is not about hatred for anybody, but it's about democracy. Is about choices. They say it's a game of numbers. Before numbers, about choices. And those choices now resonate in numbers. Okay? So you let people make their choices. You don't intimidate people. You don't talk down on people. I'm not talking down on anybody. I give you reasons for which this is what I think about individuals. Over time, I've had friends who have contested things, and if you have been a follower on this program, I have shared about how some of the people I might call very close friends have said, "Oh, we've registered you." So I said, "No, please tear that card. I don't belong to parties." At the risk of sounding modest, I've been invited to serve, be part of one administration or the other, and I'm like, no, I can contribute my quota without being in a cabinet of a particular, not about the party, but I supported in my own ways, in my own little ways, in the places that I was so invited to, and my contributions are documented. Okay, so this is not a time for anyone to sit on the fence in Nigeria. Whether you are a Nigerian, or you are a diaspora Nigerian, whether you hold 10 citizenships or 1 or 2 or whatever, so long as you have drawn breath from that space at any given time, you should be concerned with what is happening. Why should our children be dying? For what? We've not recovered from the millions that died in the course of the Biafra War. I survived it. I was the age of some of these children that you are seeing that looking at skeleton at the time it happened. I witnessed them live. I'm lucky to be here, to be alive. So if anybody is not seeing what is shaping up in Nigeria right now as heading in a very dangerous place, then I'm sorry. That's the reason I wrote this book in the first place. Biafra, let's be forget. Don't let this kind of things happen again that will lead worse things have happened. Worse things are happening. There's no single thing I've said, be careful so this doesn't happen, in this book that had not happened already. Am I happy about them? No. That's why they are here. That's why this book is so that you know this is not about a story about combatant soldiers talking about their military exploits. No, it's about a survivor. Inside survival, an individual who survived the atrocities of the Nigeria Biafra war and lived to tell the story. From the perspective of a civilian, from the perspective of a child. Not the skewed documentary that BBC had produced. We said it, and it's because of that documentary now that I said, look, now I was like, well, the documentary I want to do on this book, maybe if this doesn't, no, now I am determined to do the documentary. And one more thing, I've cleared here that I don't belong to any political party. But I stand to say, okay, this group looked like, from researching about the individuals, of course, you cannot contest any political office in Nigeria without belonging to a political party. Okay, so it's about individuals, about the integrity of the individuals, about their track records that I have researched, I have checked. So I am endorsing them. Yes. It doesn't mean that if I mention your name on this program, that I'm saying you are endorsing or that I'm campaigning for. If you call that campaign, fine, but you cannot sit on the fence and expect change to happen. No. Unfortunately, it's either you are for or you're against. So I want to bring this out here because for some of us, some of my followers who had, as at yesterday, this time yesterday or so, seeing the queuing of this particular podcast or live stream on YouTube, the description had a different Nigerian creative from the one that is there now. We had produced a short video. You know, we always produce a short video on this program. It's our own way of recognizing, honoring, if you like, respecting, applauding the works of creatives, Nigerian creatives, and drawing relevance to their works to social issues. Not necessarily that they are endorsing whatever it is, but unfortunately, the person who uses work was upset that I'm campaigning for NDC and using his name. Unfortunately, we had to be put on a very difficult position where we had to both do a brand new script within a matter of a couple of hours when the notice came to us, and had to go into producing an entirely different short video for this program. So it's not, we're not taking anybody for granted. It's not recklessness, like as person assumed journalism recklessness or rascality, or is not. This is probably the 50-something or 60-something short videos we produced in this series, and it's at no, without any, disrespect to anybody. It's to say, oh, we appreciate your work. This person has done this work, sang this song. This song resonates with this particular social situation in Nigeria. If you're watching this program, that's how it's been. And then the individual felt otherwise. So we have done away with that video and then use a more deserving person, more appreciative person that, has an understanding that what we are doing is that we're not selling the videos we're producing. They are there in the public domain on YouTube on our channel. Okay, so that's that about that. And we have not reached out to embarrass anybody. We thought that Nigerians indeed wanted some things to change, and then if you have done a song and it resonates with something, and we use it, it's not commercial, it's not disrespect, it's not in any way tagging you with any political party. No, I've said it, I'm not a member of NDC, but I support P.W.B. I support Dr. Rabiu. And so based on their track record, based on their integrity, based on who they are, yes, okay? It's not based on the political party, no. Unfortunately, you cannot contest election on Nigeria. There's no private candidacy or independent candidacy in the Nigerian Electoral Act, okay, or proceedings. So if P.W.B., if there were there and he contested as an independent candidate, I would support him. I would encourage people who really want to see real change, support him. It's not an abuse to anybody. The politicians themselves say this is a game. Unfortunately, this is a game that is costing the life of Nigerians, especially Nigerian children. So it's not a game. It's not interesting. It's not. Okay? If any administration cannot at the least protect the life and property of its citizen, that administration has failed 100%. There's nothing else to add. Any other thing is an addition. People have to be alive to benefit from anything. So that for me, it's a no-no. Okay? And election seasons are supposed to be, you do what should improve the lives of the people. It's on record. It will be seen. So when the next season for election comes, you are able to present those things you have done. As a matter of fact, before you speak, what you have done that has been speaking for you, go to Abia. What's happening there? How much of the campaign is the governor of Abia State doing, Southeast Nigeria? His work is speaking, his works are speaking for him. Okay? So this is not about hatred for any individual. I've said it on this program severally. My first love, my first concern is Nigeria and Nigerians, not any individual in governance. And what are elections meant for? You do well, people want you back, they vote for you. You don't force yourself on people. You don't keep blackmailing people directly or indirectly, threatening people indirectly or directly. No. There's even no talk of indirectly. Everything is there. The threat is open. The threats are open. The economy, social amenities, now life. Nigeria is happening to Nigeria and Nigerians in plain sight on a daily basis. It's been a while. It's no longer individualistic. No, it's not a group. So if you keep quiet, sit on the fence and say so that they don't say, I am supporting this person and support. Sorry. Those who would support issues that point to real changes will do so and need to do so. Okay? In which country? We started a video. I said this morning, today, I'm not going to be emotional. It's anger. Not to it's anger to a system that allows its citizens to be treated. Look at that man. They beat him so much. They were changing the stature of the wood, the instrument they were using to beat him, until they used a big piece of wood to beat him, and I think he gave up. Nigeria, what did he do? Look at him. He's probably a poor farmer from one poor community. And I will show you, all of you sitting on the fence to say, let them not say I'm supporting this party, campaigning for a particular party. Don't campaign. Don't support. Sit quietly. Sit on the fence. I will show you that this is a pattern. It's not an accident. It's not today. It's because you kept quiet over time that people like General Yakubu Gowon could release a book spewing out all sorts of lies for documented facts. It's because you kept quiet all of this, and that BBC is one that took up writing, producing a documentary for something by an individual. Alabi Ishama, now people are saying now he remembers his Igbo. In all of his books, in all of his interviews that I've watched on, especially on Desmond Obilo's State Affairs, you see him there, he's feeling nice and, recollecting their escapades that he has written in his book, feeling very good and all of that. He never one day, he was more, this is not about any tribal or anything, but he never one day identified himself with, no. Unfortunately, the people he thought he was hiding identified him, and all the ways that they treated him, which were part of his, if you like, grievances in quote, in some of those interviews I've seen, were because they knew who he was. Till today, he doesn't know whether he is dismissed or whatever in terms of rank. All of it is in those videos. And that's a person producing a video. From what perspective, please? With the British, the BBC. You cannot be a combatant and you cannot be prey and predator at the same time. No, it's not possible. So you tell your story from a position of a predator. We were praised. We were praised. I was one, like all those children that you see there. If there's no internet, some of those things will not be known. If the internet is not there, some of the things happening to some of these children now that are being documented, that are being posted, will not, in another 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, somebody will come with a story that Nigeria was all quiet and peaceful due to the wonderful work that one administration around that time had done, which some people are doing right now, praising the present administration. Is performing, he's doing great. Doing great how? We're here on this particular episode. I will show you what it means to lead, what doing great should look like, especially in the face of insecurity, especially in the face of potential and real anarchy, loss to life and property, displacement of citizens by hoodlums, by terrorists, by bandits, by common criminals who have now joined to make this whole industry that they have to partake in this obscene industry that they have created and allowed to fester. I'm going to show you two videos now. It's in Nigeria here. I'm going to show you, the first video I'm going to show you is Nigerian soldiers in a village during the Biafra War. A village, a compound, civilians, not carrying arms, nothing. Took a man, his wife and children were running, crying all over the place. They were dragging they could see two goats, one black, one white, one dark, taking the goats. They took that man. You could hear them say, kill him, oh, kill him, kill him, kill him. They killed that man, that video. It was war situation. But that man was not a combatant. That place was not a battlefront. It was in their home. I guess those people were part of the palm trees that General Gowon's soldiers aimed at. So let's see that video. Then I'll play the second one for you, present day Nigeria, to show you that this thing is a calculated and scripted wickedness, a plan for a specific kind of result. So you understand the issues that are, other things have been made to join it so that it looks confusing. It's not confusing. The strategy has been the same. Okay, let's watch that video. Let's watch that video of the Nigerian soldiers. Okay.
Wait up. Come on. You try to run down? Yeah, right, no fire. Don't fire, don't fire. Look your back. The man go run, make una kill out here. Don't talk. The man go run, make we kill him and talk. Kill him. Go run, make we kill him. Kill him. Finish. Kill him, the bugger. We got another bugger. Kill him. Yes, kill him. If we will not kill him, I go kill you now. Kill him. What is it? Kill him. Kill him. Come on. Let him move. Hey, move. Let him move. Move. Yes. Come on. Okay, come on, let's go. Hey, come on. Come
That was not shot in mass. That video was not shot in mass. It was shot in Nigeria, in southeastern part of Nigeria, in the course of that civil war. Now tell me, look at the number of soldiers. Look at that defenseless man. Even after they had macheted him, done whatever they did to him, while surrounding him, that he was almost obviously dead, one of them still shot him, even when his colleagues were saying, leave him, he don't die. What could create such inhumane acts of hatred? It has not ceased. It has not stopped. It has not stopped. So maybe people should stop talking about symptoms of the insecurity issues, go back to the underlying issues that is generating this issue of insecurity. I mean, specifically the killing and displacement of communities, of individuals, the abduction of individuals, whether as groups or as individuals across Nigeria. I've had cause to say to some followers that, look, people should be careful because it's beginning to look like the Oyo abduction issue now, as important, as painful as it is, as if it's the only one. It's not the only one. But for me, like I have explained to them, it seems to be like it's not having a tipping point effect. No, this is not too much. It's not that other ones are not important. Some children are still there in Ekiti. School children, not released. When you get to see the short video, the Chibok girls from 12 years ago, about 80-something of them have still not been found. So through to all the other documented, Amnesty International says 17 such abductions. We have other records that say there are 26. Amnesty is talking about 1,700 plus children and young people abducted or kidnapped. There's another published documented report that says over 2,000 in Nigeria. And what do politicians do? They go on campaigning. You cannot, I'm a stubborn politician. I will campaign for my second term. Second term to do what? You failed in your first term. The administration failed. And don't take my word for it, okay? I'll play you the second video. The first video was about 60-something or so years ago, about 60 years ago. This second video is present time. Nigeria, some rural village environment. Look at that first video. Look at the children there. Look at how traumatized that last child was shaking. In the second video I'm going to play now, you see babies on the back of their dead, killed, murdered parents. Still crying. And somebody is talking about respect, or somebody is talking about my time. Some people are talking about what mandate. The mandate anybody has is for 4 years. You've not done anything about ensuring that Nigerians move around freely, safely in those 4 years, almost 4 years now. If you did, I'll be the first. I don't the campaign. I will bring out the things you've done right in my programming. I'm for development. I'm for good governance. By anybody, like we've said here, and I believe it's true, Nigerians don't care who the president is. They don't care where you come from, why you pray, what you speak, or language you speak. They just want, especially the young Nigerians of 40, 30, 20 years, and not the parochial and bigoted geriatrics that have continued to advance hatred that has not done anybody any good. Before I play you that video, just one more thing. We need to point it out. There are videos online now, disturbing videos online of the Lagos state government picking up people they say are beggars on the streets of Lagos at this time. On top of all of this, there are so many videos coming out from different parts of Nigeria, arresting people that every Fulani person, every person of northern extraction cannot be a bandit, cannot be a criminal. It's not possible. Unfortunately, this is a situation that the government in power right now has led to degenerate to this stage. And it is going to breed nothing but anarchy. And the kind of the kind of social upheaval that Nigeria had never experienced. The Civil War was just on one side. The rest of the country didn't know anything about that. Didn't have an understanding of it. Some episodes ago, I said the present administration, the present president of the country, has, by his utterances, actions, and inactions, drawn hatred to the Yoruba people of the Southwest without them doing anything. Without him even being a Yoruba president. He's not a Yoruba president, we have said it. He's still taking care of his own business. It's not Afedifere. He's not taking care of Yoruba, no. He's taking care of himself and his boys and his supporters and the sacrifices that surround him. That's it. But unfortunately, his actions are bringing some generational stain on the Yoruba people. It needs to be addressed. And like we've said, like I keep saying, like I'm saying again now, having to conduct the 2027 election, if he ever holds, as a free and fair election, and let whoever the people decide to choose win, is the best get out of jail card, free card that this present administration would have. Is the best way to heal Nigeria. Is the best way to hand over and maintain the democratic process in whatever form it is now, and let healing and encourage credible people to eventually show up in the political space that will now help Nigeria to move on to genuine politicking, and, well, democracy. But because one of the reasons for which I say yes, Peter will be yes, Dr. Kukwanso, is their credibility would attract their likes to come out and support and contest going forward. Their credibility would make those who have questions hanging over their heads to think twice before showing up. Unfortunately, the present administration have attracted likes. People who have questions to answer. So how would such people want any changes to come? Therein lies the dilemma of the present Nigerian situation. And make no mistake about it, the insecurity issues are linked to that. The present administration is afraid to hold people accountable because they don't want to lose, well, certain support from certain quarters. But they don't care about losing the support of Nigerians. Unfortunately for them, unfortunately for Nigeria, young people in Nigeria have woken up. People are still thinking, oh, they are social media ninjas. No, they have shown up on the streets. And they will show up more. And I pray they show up more. I'll play you that second video. It's from the present day Nigeria. Please watch out for the patterns that you saw in the first video. The first one was, well, soldiers in military uniform, but then equipped by the state. They killed innocent civilians. Now, the second video is about the people they now call bandits and terrorists doing exactly the same thing. Watch the video.
Adila, what I didn't get my what I do. Look at my. Look at my. Dati gori kardanti. Umur kardanti pakon. Befuno ngene. Oh, oh, nanti dia mengada.
Quite unfortunate.
How do you negotiate with such people? How do you negotiate with such people? Coming back to the Oyo issue, the Oyo abductions, okay? Before that, in the first video about the goats, in this book here, Biafra Lest We Forget, I narrated a story about an old man and a goat. I witnessed. It's not the story anybody, it's not video. It's not, I was there. In a village, on our way back to try to reunite with the rest of our family, my elder brother, Sonny, and I, on our way from Nkwere, back to Moba. In a village, I can't remember the name of that particular village. Now, we got there, and an old man tied his goat, in a village, sitting down just in front of his house. And the soldiers, Nigerian soldiers, went there to take the goat. The man said, no, you can't take my goat. When I saw this video again and saw those goats again that the soldiers are taking away, I remembered that story. I wrote it, went back, I wrote it. Why did I remember it? The man refused to let go of his goat. They shot him. An old man. So this is a pattern. This is not today. And this is loading up to happen again in more terrible ways, spread much wider than just, restricted to the southeast part of Nigeria. Look at what is happening in the Niger Delta now. Ishekiri, Ijo, we have weapons. Who equipped them? They killed that old man. I know, because they conscripted my brother. They commandeered my brother, Sonny, to kill the goat for them and use fire to burn the hair and then prepare to try it and all of that. I know, I was there. I narrated it in this book. BBC documentary will not say anything about this. No. And you know what the importance is? Is to let you know that you don't own anything in a conflict or war situation. Now they're calling it kidnapping, right? They're calling it abductions, right? All of those children that have been taken that have not been found, you know where they are? Underground, underneath all of this, human trafficking and slavery is going on. Nigeria is back in the Stone Ages, the slave trade era, that bandits will come, gather people from a community and sell off as slaves. It's going on. Where are those children? Where are those people? Before that even happens, do you know what happens to people in captivity? The females, even the males, are gang raped. There's a story somebody sent me yesterday of a young woman who was kidnapped on her way from work. And the family eventually managed to raise the funds to pay for her ransom. And when she returned, she narrated how she was serially gang raped throughout the period of her captivity. So much so that even after she was released, she took her own life. That's the Nigeria that somebody wants to be saying, I'm a stubborn politician. I will campaign for my re-election. Re-election to do what? Let some other people try. If they fail, let the system be efficient enough to vote them out as well. Let it be that fluid. You come, you don't perform, the next election, they vote you out. You don't get there and you make yourself an emperor and insist everybody must come and dig well for you, whether they like it or not. Oh, no. Sorry. I was thinking that, well, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that, well, you eventually got there, that you will focus on governance issues and really govern, but you've not. Because you are focused on the APC and their members, the president and all of them are focused on re-election. Let's not do this so that we don't ruffle feathers. Meanwhile, you are ruffling the feathers of the people that matter the most, the peoples of Nigeria. The Oyo abductions or abduction. Well, abduction because of the number of children is one. Well, now it's two now because yesterday, was it 2 days ago, somebody sent me another video of a woman and her children kidnapped inside Ibadan, side streets, not in the forest, in Ibadan, not Ogbomoso, not Osogbo, not one village, one town in Ekiti or in Chibok. No, no, no. Ibadan. The children were being taken to school and they were kidnapped. And guess what the kidnappers or abductors of the 39 children and their 7 teachers, well, -1 or -2 now, one of the children have died, reportedly. We all have seen the video of the teacher that was beheaded. Okay, so from 49 now, you're talking about maybe 47 that are still alive. And then the abductors, the terrorists who are saying they will not speak to anybody but government, eventually it's alleged they now have a set of demands, which should make every right-thinking person to know that these are not ordinary times in Nigeria. And this has to be dealt with decisively. No story of collateral damage. No story of... was there collateral damage? Is there collateral damage going on in the Southeast? Now, there are collateral damage in the crocodile dance, the python dance, and all of that that's going on in the Southeast. Before that, they are demanding that a state government should amend the laws of the bylaws of the state to include their demands inside the... Oh, yes. And some people are still walking free on the street today. And you're talking about finding a solution. An imam, about the same group that invited Sheikh Gumi to come to Oyo State, declared a while ago that if his people say they want so, and if the government tends to tell them that Nigeria is a secular state, there will be trouble, there will not be peaceful, there will not be peaceful. And that imam has not been arrested for questioning. Sheikh Gumi is still walking the streets of Nigeria free. And you say you are looking for what kind of solution are you looking for? I'll play you the video of that imam. It's in Yoruba, but I will try my best to tell you what he's saying. I've paraphrased it, what I just said now, but I want you to hear the video. I want you to listen to that video.
Mi gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìmáàmù ní ìsìn táwọn jọmọ́ mi bá wá sunkún bá mi wípé ó dá ìyá nǹkan báyìí ń jẹ àwọn kí n wá dìde láti béèrè fún nǹkan yẹn lọ́dọ̀ ìjọba kí ìjọba máa wá sọ fún mi pé Nigeria is a secular state so gbogbo ìyẹn ẹ má gbẹdẹbi ẹ má gbẹdẹbi kò lè sọ làáfíà mi gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìmáàmù ní ìsìn.
If my people say they want something and the government tells me that, oh, Nigeria, and what is that thing that they want? They want this Oyo state government to include Sharia law as part of the bylaws of your state. And when people have been shouting, screaming, this whole thing, the way it's going, why must you force me to worship the way you worship? Why? No, why? And then the president, for those who are saying, the president couldn't go to Oyo again. They didn't go to Jos, couldn't go to Oyo now, sent his chief of staff, sent the national security advisor who went there and started talking straight again. Didn't stop there. Meanwhile, one of the persons they've been, well, building that had declared that nobody else would campaign in the Southwest, Sunday Igboho. First of all, he made a video to say the presidency or the president has empowered him to have a band of 50,000, whatever he calls them. Made a video, it's on live. The presidency did not refute that at any time. It's okay for there to be vigilante groups formed in the Southwest. It's not okay to have vigilante groups to protect lives and properties of people in the southeast of Nigeria that are not attacking anybody. They have not gone into any other community. They're not mobilized to spread into other regions of the country, killing people, asking them to behave the way they behave, eat or worship the way they... No. They only just said, no, you can't come. We don't want to go. Is it by force? And that's a problem. And that's why Nnamdi Kanu is in prison. Why should he be in prison? Why should he still be in prison? Sunday Igboho is walking free. Sheikh Gumi is walking free. When is this double standard going to stop? What needs to happen for it to stop? What? The presidency talked about, oh, we're going to start state police. Everybody clapped. I clapped. Said it was long overdue. It would do a whole lot to at least stem the freedom with which criminals, bandits or terrorists or whatever you call them, operate at will. Because the people at the federal level give order, and then everybody stay quiet and they do what they have to do. But if each state is in control of its own police force, you are not controlling the state police forces from the center. At least it won't be all. Even if you have any influence on any particular state, it will be on a state-to-state basis. It cannot be a central thing anymore. But what did the presidency do? It is the Inspector General of Police that should create state police. It's the Inspector General of Police that should advance a proposal or whatever it is called to create state Inspector General of Police. What happened to the state governors? What happened to the state houses of assembly? What happened to the presidency itself? What happened to the National Assembly? And not only that, of course, the Inspector General of Police, of course, playing to the scripts, now presented a never-ending story that is so laced with political innuendos about that that these people don't have anything to do. They just want to say something and then use it, stay in office. Because if you follow the timeline the Inspector General has stated in there and some of the points, objectives in there, that will never happen. It will not happen till way after the election, which they had assumed they will be the one back in office there. Unfortunately, no, it won't. But to show the hypocrisy of it all, it's on record that the president of Nigeria approved 1,000 forest guards for you. So, okay, you wait until it happens in Ondo, you will approve another 1,000. So, if we could give an executive order for creation of forest guards in Oyo, which is reactive, it's not preemptive. So why doesn't he use the same executive order to establish state police and let the states move at their own paces to set up the no, it doesn't. So it shows you how political and how much dishonesty in all of this is. Unfortunately, all of us don't have sawdust in our brains. We can see, can read, can analyze. And I'm not alone. I've said it here. I support Peter Obi. I call people to support Peter Obi and his quest in collaboration with Dr. Kwakwanso. Why? That is a government of national unity of sorts. That is the commencement of a healing process for Nigeria of sorts. And when I say healing, in different aspects of the elements that have bedeviled Nigeria. Therefore, yes, if they don't, then you go and vote again and say, hey, we told you they can't perform. You vote them out. So no, you have not performed. You go by the ballot. If you make it possible to go by the ballot, you can see the handwritings on the wall. I was holding my breath when I was watching a video of teachers, just teachers, forcing themselves to force open a gate leading to a government facility in Ogun State. Someone has said it. And that thing, I think it's the NAN's president, yes, in an interview, that the present administration is lucky that Peter Obi is the kind of person that he is. Because whether you want to, whether you are still living in denial, the people of Nigeria are behind that team. What that person was saying is that if Peter Obi was to be like one of them, even the present president, they all walked on the street, they all protested, called protest, Occupy Nigeria during Jonathan's, it's all there. If Peter Obi was like them, if Peter Obi calls today to say, yes, we are protesting, we are occupying Nigeria, you will find millions of Nigerians on the street. But he's not doing that. And I don't expect him to do that. He's responded to the issue defending Pastor Iyadeboye that no, that's not correct. Don't attack the old man. Yes. Would this administration have done so? No. Those are part of what I saw that is now exhibiting, even in plain sight, to say, this is who I am. That's the kind of calm, responsible, God-fearing leader that Nigeria needs, unifying leader that Nigeria needs at this time. He asked a question. I'm going to play it next time. I'm going to play my next video nice about him. He was talking in a group. And the questions he asked, I'm like, oh, okay. Kidnappers will kidnap people, take them wherever. Stay in those places, call their relations or whoever to come and pay ransom. Some of them would even fall ill. Doctors will go to those places to go and treat the abducted persons. Doctors know the way to get to them and come out. Yet the police don't know where they are. The security agencies don't know where they are. Come on. Come on. That's what is going on within this administration and the previous two administrations, even up to the Jonathan administration, the Chibok girls. From what we have, from what we know, there were people saw where those girls were. But because it was contrived, no, they were never rescued. At least in those early in as a group. I'm going to play a video of Peter Obi asking the same question, making the same issue, making the same point. That's a leader. That's somebody you expect that would get something done and make Nigerians safe. Yes. Okay. Let's watch that video.
Kidnappers, kidnap people, this time and age, feeding them, funding their family to come and bring money. Often a time, if the person is sick, they even allow somebody doctor to come and treat the person and go back. But the police don't know where they are. The only person who don't know where they are is police. But doctors know where they are. To go and treat the person if he's sick. So they wait. At this time and age that if you call phone anywhere, everybody know where you are. They are using phone and negotiating with the families. And the families are telling people, police, that they called this morning, but they don't know where they are. These are the confusions we want to stop. This is what we want to stop. We want to stop people from stealing public money. They will tell you, no, you can't stop corruption. And nonsense. We know those who took the money. He said the easiest thing you can fight is corruption. We have all sorts of things. We want to cut down the cost of governance. It is totally unacceptable. You make Peter Obi governor, he becomes the richest person in the state. In any country where politicians or those in government are richer than business people, the place is failed. You celebrated doctor when we were talking. Doctor cannot be earning maybe 10% of what the governor of North Carolina is earning. How can? And he's still practicing. Professors in university are on strike. Nobody's negotiating with them. We're negotiating with bandits. Corruption kills three things a society lives. It kills entrepreneurship. It kills professionalism and hard work. You're negotiating with bandits, but you can't sit down with university professors and you want them to continue to do research and be able to find solutions to what is happening in society. Why don't I become a bandit and negotiate with government? That is the crisis you face. So, my dear people, with you, we can solve this. We're in a church today. With everything the pastor has told us, God will not solve it. It's God of the whole world. So those, even said it in Bible, those who don't have, who don't want, even the little they have, we're taking away from them and give it to those who are serious. Because it's not going to be looking for where there's no light, where there's no this, where there's no, it's enough problem. He has enough problem already to deal with the entire world. So you better go and bless those who want blessing and leave those who don't want the blessing. After all, he has made it that some will go to heaven, some will go to hell. Some people choose to go to hell. Let them go to hell. It's their business. So if you think God is going to solve it for us, no. We are going to solve it ourselves. And not solving it is why I'm going around. That's why I said no celebration, no title, no award. I'm going to places like when I went to California, they say award. I said, no award. Every award now will wait till after government. We know whether the person is qualified to be awarded anything or not. Not when you are.
Well, the questions are pretty straightforward. The comments are pretty straightforward. If it's possible for medical personnel to go take care of, abducted or kidnapped individuals in captivity, so what stops the security agencies, they say collateral damage, right? I want to also take us to hear somebody else that worked with Mr. Peter Obi while he was the governor of Anambra State. The next video I'm going to play is about a military officer who says, who has put on record Peter Obi's leadership qualities when it comes to the issue of tackling and handling the issues of insecurity. Last episode, I shared how on 2 occasions I was, robbed at Onitsha Bridgehead in Onitsha, Southeast Nigeria. I'm just traveling and stopping to buy things and all of that. That place was a no-go until Peter Obi became governor, and that stopped. So don't take my word for it. Listen to this next video. This is somebody saying what Peter Obi did, especially as it concerns the issue of insecurity in Anambra State in that period, which is the foundation of peace that's being enjoyed in Anambra till now. Okay, and after that video, this whole talk about collateral damage and all of that. Okay, we look at what previous administrations, have done, especially General Olusegun Obasanjo when he was the head of state. I'm not talking about military head of state. I'm talking about civilian head of state. When we say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be presidential, should show teeth. That's what. You're not showing teeth against people who are speaking because they are paying, because they want you to do better. No, you are not facing them. Your advisors are targeting people who are speaking out. You are not facing the same, even more than the energy you are using to target people who are drawing your attention to the things that are wrong. If you apply half of that energy to tackling the terrorists and the bandits and the kidnappers and the criminals that have taken over Nigeria and Nigeria, lives, maybe you wouldn't have to do so much of campaigning. But what are you going to campaign with exactly? What exactly are you going to tell the people? What? I want to show you what campaigning is about. It's about that people speaking with facts, with data, not psychophancy. Let's watch the next video, please.
I have worked with His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi in Onitsha about 17 years ago as a commanding officer. Before he came to Onitsha to take over from Dr. Chris Ngige, during the time of Chris Ngige, there was no Operation Mesa in the whole of Anambra State, for reasons best known to them then. But when he came, he took over. He drove straight to the barrack and asked. And when we briefed him, he now went back and Operation Mesa was restored a week later or thereabout. As at that time, it was like a no man's land in Onitsha. 33 you cannot go. Ogbaru you cannot go. Then talk less of the other areas. When it was restored, I was the officer in charge of the internal security operations. I was collocated with artillery regiment, but as a commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel, I was in charge of the operations. Believe me, within 2 weeks or thereabout, everything was tackled. Onitsha became free. You couldn't go out. The police was sacked. And that was why I believe that after about 6 months to 1 year, the police actually acknowledged that Anambra was a peaceful, most peaceful state in the country as at that time. So that was where I knew him. And I saw the character of integrity. In short, for me, I was calling him Commissioner of Defense because he was in command and in control. He had the interest. And I said, this man, he does not allow the resources that comes to the military or whatever to pass through anybody straight. Our challenge was patrol vehicles, no mobility. In a sweep, when you say, what is the problem? He provided it immediately. Following his record from research, never convicted of corruption, of stealing, integrity. Is it reaching to people? Is it international relations and all whatever, economic knowledge and all that? Competence, capability, and before long I saw him trotting almost all over the whole. You will see him short at a point. I say, is this man a spirit? Somebody asked me, say, is this man a spirit? You will see he's in Port Harcourt today. Before you know, they say he's somewhere. I'm all that. And I prayed and I made up my mind. This is somebody that we need at this time.
Worked and your work shows, people will talk about your work that you've done, that have shown. People will praise you. People will come, not from a psychophancy position, no. Position of performance. Credible people, not people who are only speaking because they are going to receive a bag of rice or whatever amount of money, no. Okay? They speak from conviction, from verifiable data performance. And that's what's needed. That's campaign. That's endorsement. So you let your work, okay, which work are you going to let endorse you now, President Tinubu? Which one? That your citizens are being killed at will and you can't even empathize? You're busy campaigning. Your wife is busy shuttling, campaigning. The governor of Ekiti State, Ekiti children and women are in captivity. You are doing photo ops with military personnel. Ekiti will be safe. Those children and those women in captivity, are they safe? All you're interested in is in election, in getting to be in office. Office to rule who? Dead people? So this is crazy. I cannot, it's insane environment. This is enough for impeaching a governor, impeaching a president. We shouldn't even be talking about any election. You're not even qualified to present yourselves for re-election. For what? And that is the evidence of how much the system has been compromised. That's evidence for how much the people have been made hopeless. That's the evidence of how much accountability has been buried. But it's resurrected. It's resurrecting. It's being resurrected. People must be held accountable. And there's still time, sir, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for you to hold people accountable. Let your people stop pursuing people who are only speaking out because they care, they are pained, they are concerned. A young man is in a rural environment asking people to go and register, go and get their PVC, is arrested. For what? So you were not planning that people should go and get their PVC. You not think it makes sense for people to prepare to vote. But I like that. Yeah, the young people are waking up. They are no longer in one room typing on Twitter. They are on the streets and the communities. They've woken up. You've woken them up through non-performance, through not being able to account for anything. And I will show you, it's not me. One of your trusted persons. I have a video of him here. Senator Adam Toshomole. Which is to say that you don't have to keep supporting bad things. You don't have to keep reinforcing failure. No. If something doesn't work, it's not about, that's not the meaning of jumping ship. No. If you are speaking out and they are not listening to you, you leave the place. You make it known that, look, this thing, it's not that I'm being a coward or whatever. I don't support this. Yes, more senators, more legislators, more governors, more local government, more civil servants, more public servants need to speak out. The person that says, "Oh, you are using my name, my song to promote, to campaign for a political party," it's not about being afraid of. So don't associate me with. Well, I'm sorry. Those who want to stand to be counted as how to advance Nigeria for the benefit of all, not a group, not some individual. No. In Nigeria to be a place where you thrive. You strive without molestation, without threat to life. That is it. Now people will kill you for free. Yeah. For doing what? For saying this, please now, why are our children dying? Okay. Collateral damage, right? President Olusegun Obasanjo. Two clear instances where he showed that, look, don't joke with my military, don't joke with the police. Not even, there was even police that time. Police. Don't joke. The policeman comes to your community to come and keep law and order. You don't. What they did, was it human rights right? Well, it brought law and order, it brought sense. What the people concerned went to court. They won some compensation and all of that. But a statement had been made. I am referring to the OD massacre. I'm not endorsing people being killed, but when you hide, what is causing the spread of insecurity and terrorism and banditry in Nigeria to spread now? It's because community members are hiding. They're hiding inside communities. They live among them. They supply them with goods and they cover them up. Okay? The OD community were given ultimatum, bring out the people who have killed these policemen. Within so time, they didn't. And the presidency gave an order. Yeah. Harsh as it sounds, that's a government. You can appear weak. You can't show because you want to win election, because you want to show that you are. Okay, maybe people will say because can he do that in the north? Have we forgotten what happened with Matashina to itself? As if that is not enough. When a group formed and they call themselves OPC and say they will do this, they will do that, they're harassing and terrorizing people. President Obasanjo is a Yoruba man. His administration, he said, any criminal, shoot aside. That was the first order. Then a group organized to say, okay, we are OPC. We are a socio-political, socio-cultural group. We will not harassing people, committing all sorts of crimes and atrocities around the Southwest. And the President Obasanjo up to that order. Arrest them. If they resist arrest, shoot them. No, don't. It's not me. Hear the video. Hear him. That's a president. That is letting the military, the security agencies do their work without looking at anybody's face or faces. That's what should happen in this case. It's not happening. The people who are demanding that the state government must put Sharia inside his bylaws that the people that say if, the forest guards are just going to form, as if Nigeria has no military anymore. This is a threat to the constitution. It's a threat to Nigerians that has been carried out, executed already. You are seeing it. It's going to the next level. So if they succeed in Oyo, just take it for granted that the same thing will happen in other states, and then what? And then you want to come back to do what as president? I will play General Obasanjo's, President Obasanjo's video for you as a civilian president, not a military president. And it was police that he was even, not even the military, police. Yes, it's the military that went to Odi. Because they sent policemen, they killed them, sent another group, they killed them. I said, okay, you have gotten bold enough. Now, bandits and terrorists are killing even generals, abducting generals, demanding ransom. How low can this get? Let's hear President.
The police have acted according to the instruction they have been given that any criminal should be shot at sight. But now they have even got additional instruction. Anybody who calls himself OPC should be arrested, or if he doesn't give himself to arrest, he should be shot at sight. We cannot allow this country to be taken over by hoodlums and criminals. The police have acted.
You had President Obasanjo. Nigeria should not let Nigeria be taken over by criminals and hoodlums. That was a president. It was a civilian president. It was a civilian president. We cannot allow Nigeria to be taken over by criminals and hoodlums. They are taken over in plain sight, making demands, wanting to be part of government. Shegumi started it like a joke, His foot soldiers are implementing it in broad daylight. The same Shegumi that went to Saudi Arabia, the home of Islam, and Saudi Arabia deported him, could not tolerate him. People should be there, be playing. These people do not deserve any second chance for what they have done, for what they are doing, for what they continue to do to the general population that just want peace. And you're talking of collateral damage. Did they wait for collateral damage to cut off that man's head? The young girl that died yesterday, on which day now, they wait for collateral damage. Do you know the ones that are going to die tomorrow? Are they planning? Do you know what they are doing to them in that place, including children? The young woman who came out and narrated how she was gang raped and all of that, and now took her own life. What collateral damage? All of those children, can they ever be normal children anymore? Even if they are released. At this point, we'll play you our in-house video to, tie all of this up in one package okay, to understand it. And like I said earlier, we had to produce this video this morning, which is not our normal practice. We had produced a video using Ogosi. We thought we were honoring him. We thought we were paying some respect to the work he's done over the years by using one of his songs that resonated with what we are discussing today. But now he felt that we are using him to campaign for a political party. It's not so. It's not true. Okay, so it's created some more stress for us. So we had to get on with removing the videos where he had been put, scripting a different description for the YouTube video for some of the posts that we've already made. And most importantly, we had to produce this new video, okay, for today's episode. Nothing will stop our work. We're done. We are not here to take advantage of anybody or disrespect anybody. We believe that we're, promoting people, not the other way around, okay? If I don't play any particular video here, the program will go. But we designed this program to also showcase Nigerian creatives and their contribution to socio-political or socio-cultural issues in Nigeria. But Mr. Ogosi took it differently, and then we have removed that video. So we produced another enhanced video, okay? And that's what we want to play for you now. Enjoy.
Nigerians and friends of Nigeria everywhere are heartbroken. A nation that has watched its children taken from their classrooms over and over again is still watching, and the people responsible for stopping such inhumane, heartbreaking acts are still issuing condolence statements and creating new titles while the abductions, banditry and terrorism continue. This is episode 5 of the quest for a safe Nigeria. Please subscribe and turn on notifications right now so you never miss a video in this series. On May 15, 2026, 39 students and 7 teachers were abducted from 3 schools in Oriire local government area of Oyo State, southwest Nigeria. By the 4th of June, 2026, they are yet to be rescued. Hundreds of teachers marched from Ikeja to the Lagos State House of Assembly. Protests have spread to Ogun, Kwara, and beyond. The Nigeria Union of Teachers has declared an indefinite strike. And this is not new. On April 14, 2014, 276 schoolgirls were abducted from a school in Chibok in Borno State, northeast Nigeria. 12 years later, families say 87 of those girls are still missing. Since Chibok, Amnesty International has documented at least 17 mass abductions in which over 1,700 children have been seized from their schools. Dapchi, Kankara, Kagara, Zamfara, Kaduna, and now Oyo. Nigeria's military is not weak that it cannot deal with these abductors. The Nigerian military has been weakened by politics and politicians. There is a critical difference between a military that cannot protect its people and one that has been deliberately kept from doing so by a political establishment that controls its deployment and starves it of resources, even when such would have been budgeted and supposedly provided. An associate of the present administration in Nigeria recently stated publicly that it is impossible for Nigeria's military to guard all the schools across the country. When such individuals who appear to be speaking openly make such statements, the crisis seems to have been accepted as it is, by the government. And yet, even as those in government normalize this crisis, the Nigerian people have refused to. Across communities, on the streets, and increasingly through music has always been Nigeria's conscience, but the age of artificial intelligence has transformed who gets to speak. Simisola Bolatito Ogunleye, born April 19, 1988 in Ojuelegba, Lagos, known to the world as Simi, is a Nigerian singer, songwriter, sound engineer, and actress who has built one of the most distinctive and beloved careers in Nigerian music since breaking through with her single, Tiff, in 2014. Her name is credited online to a song titled, Bring Back Our Children, produced using AI and posted on YouTube by Viral Song Covers. Whether she sang it or not, the voice, the name, and the pain in those lyrics belong to this moment. Because AI has now given anyone who can feel the grief and write the words the ability to make the music. Emmanuel, Hassan, Lydia, Rashida, Joshua, Deborah, Aisha and Ahmed, these are names that belong to real families counting real days.
When I shall sing, there is fire on the mountain. We never knew the flames would reach our homes. Now every morning brings another story, another child missing, another mother crying alone. 39 students, 7 teachers.
Nigerian leaders cannot lead the dead. They can only lead living Nigerians. Mr. Peter Obi governed Anambra State and understood that security begins with good governance. Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso rebuilt Kano's institutions and demonstrated that a state that invests in its people produces fewer desperate men. Together they represent the most credible answer Nigeria has to the question of who should lead it out of this crisis of insecurity. An Obi Kwankwaso victory in 2027 is a get-out-of-jail-free card for the current administration, giving him the opportunity to hand over power quietly and allow Nigeria to move forward, through a credible, free and fair election, which rests squarely on the present administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The alternative is to attempt to keep presiding over a country whose children are being taken from their classrooms, which would likely lead to conflicts all across Nigeria. Nigerians are mobilizing to vote for the Obi Kwankwaso ticket for the 2027 elections. And until then, the Nigerian electorate need to keep mobilizing, be present on the streets, in communities, stay on social media, and do not let the noise of distraction and blame games bury the names of the children who have not come home yet, and those who are still in the risk of being continually abducted, traumatized, dehumanized or murdered. Our full live stream goes much deeper on all of these. Watch it at May Nigeria Never Happen to You and bring your questions. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with everyone you know with interest in Nigeria's development and well-being. Please subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next video. May Nigeria happen for all Nigerians and for friends of Nigeria.
Well, welcome back. It was stressful, but we had to produce it, okay? Because you are important. We know you look forward to having those short videos each episode. So thank you. Thank you for keeping faith and staying with us. Now, I need to make a clarification here, okay? There's a video that's been running riot on the internet about some children whose bodies had been so stirred and serrated with canings and all of that. You know, guys, please, could you put that video up? I'm not putting it up because I'm spreading it or whatever. And by the way, we're not saying that, you know, inhumanity or, you know, inhumane treatment to anybody anywhere in the world is okay. No, that's not what we're saying. But we just want to make this clarification that that video is not from Nigeria. Okay, and yes, that video is not from Nigeria. I was so disturbed. I started checking. Originally, that was actually what was on our thumbnail for today's program. But then I'm like, no, let's think, where is this video? Which, you know, so that people are not confusing it with their children in Oriire or Ikiti or any of the places. But these are still children. They are human beings. But those pictures are from Cameroon, if you want to check. So we just need, it's just important to make this clarification here. It's free, it's there on the internet. Anybody is posting anything about children and abduction, that's the picture that is there, but that's not Nigeria. So that we let's be careful. Let's not, you know, there's already so much pain and heartbreak. Let's try to find ways to manage it. Okay, please. So those children are not from Nigeria, but our hearts still go out to them because it's the same group of people. It's the same thing that's making them perpetrate the inhumane activities that are perpetrated here in Nigeria. That is the same thing in the Cameroon. It's the same thing all over the place. Okay, so it's high time that Nigerian government should stand And let the military do their work, please. Stop harassing civilians. Stop guiding your position about election, your mandate. Which mandate? It's 4 years. It's ending. You are inside the fourth year. You don't have mandate for that mandate. You have to be through an election. So there's no mandate. The one that you had, you've not used it well. So there's no mandate to stand on. There's no performance to stand on. So let that be understood. And for all the people who are singing those songs, well, you're waiting till it gets your turn, till it comes to your community, till it becomes your children, becomes your family member, or becomes you. You don't need to wait for that. Nobody's praying for that. Nobody's praying for that, okay? And, you know, for the records, last episode, but no, it wasn't last episode. I think it was episode before last. We asked a question: who made the call? Okay, the children in the Kebbi, General Ruba, who made those calls? People in the military, people in the defense hierarchy made those calls, made the call to withdraw those troops from that school, to give away General Ruba's location. Who made those calls? We asked that question, and we stated it clearly here, that the Senate said we want to know. That I was sure that even at that point, that the Senate President must have known the defense, the Minister of Defense at that point, was a retired general. He should know, he would know, but they're not saying. And then, thank God that some of them are beginning to wake up and beginning to take the position that they should take as lawmakers. And it's not less person or lesser person than Senator Adams Shomole. I want you to hear him. We're going to play the whole of the video. It's a little bit long, but we're going to play all of it. At a point, they were not even saying, your time is up. Go and sit down. Your time is up. As if you off the mic. Is enough. No, it can't be enough. Okay? He asked pertinent questions. They need answers. They need answers. So we'll play you. Let's hear him.
I associate myself with all the comments that have been made, and there can be no question that it is very troubling, whether for children, for adults, for men, for women, to wake up or even on their bed to be abducted and taken to all sorts of places. They go through dehumanization, they end up paying ransom, and even at that, some end up being wasted. I am not sure, having listened this morning, with profound respect to all my distinguished colleagues who have spoken, I didn't hear anything new. We have competed for change of words to condemn, to denounce, to lament, to regret, to worry aloud about all of these things. And on each occasion, there are consequential prayers that this Senate has had to make. What I want to say this afternoon with profound respect is that it doesn't appear to me that we have carried out audit. By this I mean to refer to each of those resolutions that we have passed in the past, to ask ourselves, as a consequence, what specific actions has been taken based on those resolutions? If past resolutions did not change anything, why should we believe that today's own will be different? And if today's own will not be different, why should we waste our precious time on it? I want to draw your attention, Mr. President, to one particular one, because everybody in Nigeria must be accountable, whether you are under arms or you are armless. We all admitted we were shocked about war kidnapping that took place in Kebbi. And it was reported, and the governor of Kebbi State cried aloud that military personnel that were in that particular school were ordered to be withdrawn. And about 40 minutes later, the kidnappers came and cut away about 200, I can't remember exactly the number of children. This Senate, under your leadership, we passed a resolution that the military high command should disclose the name of that officer, the action that had been taken against him, to satisfy us that that action was not willful, or that people who are trusted to protect us, that some of them have not become part of our problem. Mr. President, I have always tried to be present in every day that this thing is sit. As I speak, I am not aware that we have gotten a response to that simple inquiry. If the armed forces is not accountable, if we do not carry out due audit and oversight on resources that we have all been blackmailed to appropriate to protect Nigeria, and we come here lamenting that the things is now taking over the country, I think we need to do more than that. We need to carry out security audit. Money appropriated. Who got what? How was it used? And I insist that this Senate is entitled to have a reply to the question we unanimously ask. Who withdraw those people for the children to be carted away?
You have 1 second
now, if that was done, maybe this other ones now may not have happened. I associate myself with whatever we feel we can do, but I believe that any time we pass a motion, we are entitled to know the feedback arising from the response of the appropriate agencies.
Thank you very much. Your time is off. Last but not the least, Sani Musa, please give your own perspective to the motion.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay, so thank you for watching that video. I was saying to my friends on TikTok here, because I had to mute myself on YouTube for you to listen to Senator Adam Pushome. Nigerian military is not incapable of crushing these issues of insurgency, banditry, terrorism, call them by whatever name. The politicians are made that weaken the military. It should not be. Nigerian military are known internationally for their professionalism. Congo, Liberia, Sierra Leone, a number of other locations outside Africa. But they are not being made to look like they are so incapacitated, they cannot secure Nigeria. It is forest guards. Forest guards. That will, forest guards, indirectly now recruiting political thugs. How did this banditry and terrorism start in the first place? Political thugs. It shouldn't work. And then there's been a lot of talk about, oh, the religious leaders are not talking, they're keeping quiet. I saw some post about, Pastor Adeboye, the Redeemed canceled a planned protest for, well, I've had my fair say about religious leaders in Nigeria and the compromise situations that have arisen in a number of cases, but without prejudice, I still believe that Pastor Oriire Adeboye is still a man of integrity, of enormous integrity, not just because he's a pastor. And in that integrity, he's calm. Not that he's not seen. And he's law abiding, really. And but he has very powerful people that people think he has at his finger, he can talk. It doesn't mean he's not talking to them. But I'll play you a video now and we'll put that to rest. And that is what we expect from such people. Make those suggestions, make them publicly, but make them timely. Don't wait for things to get to where people start throwing things that are not yours to you. No. As Adeboye, like, the respect is not kind of for him, not just from me, from people who know him, who know that there are institutions, there are individuals that need to be respected. We are talking about integrity and Peter Obi. We're talking about leadership and Peter Obi. Yeah. In the spiritual angle of that, Pastor Adeboye represents those. Okay, so those who are arguing, because there's another thing, we get too emotional. Do you expect an 84-year-old man to go and lead protests? If he decides tomorrow he wants to lead protests, I know Pastor Adeboye's routine from the early days of Redeem. Pastor Adeboye will walk around that camp as big as it was. It's bigger now. I don't think he has stopped walking to pray at night in that camp. I don't think so. So it wouldn't be, it's not an issue of, oh, he's 84. He can't, you know. And how do I know this? I know. Because some of those times, at those early stages, we go to camp programs. You are just roaming around and you see him walking. And you go to say, Daddy, I say, no, just go and pray your own prayer. And he continued. I don't think he has, I don't think it's a matter of energy. He's not looking weak. It's not that. Whatever he does, meanings will be read to it. But he had done something now and put it on record. And I think that is the way to go. That's the way we ask that question for 3 episodes now. Why are the defense chiefs still holding their posts? Why are state governors, where these issues of insecurity, abductions, paying ransom, negotiating with terrorists, why has the presidency not declared emergency in those states? Because of politics, because of election. But you could declare state of emergency in Rivers State so that they can take over Rivers State. Look at the mess they have created there. For states that bandits and terrorists are running wild, killing people, no state of emergency. The governors still draw security votes. The senators from those, the National Assembly members, the local governments, the local government councillors. No. Show teeth as president. You've already become president. It's on record. There's nothing anybody can do about it. You have become the president of Nigeria. It will be recorded against you. Whatever books, whatever annals, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was president of Nigeria 2023 to 2027. It will be there. So don't be afraid of, if I step on toes, they might kill me. So what do you now want the ordinary people to do with all the power you have? Shouldn't. Short it. Start from you have people who that's what they signed up for. That's what they are being paid for. That's why you appointed them for. The security chiefs, from DSS to the military, to the police, to custom, to your security chiefs. If they cannot solve this problem, sack them, replace them, and so that the people you bring in will know that, look, there's no nonsense, no time for no. You're not. You're carrying everybody along so that people do not feel bad, so that you can do the election. And no. It's gone beyond that. Let's hear Pastor Adeboye.
You can advise the commander-in-chief you can't command him. Because if you command the commander-in-chief, then you become the commander of the commander-in-chief. That doesn't make sense. But I've tried. And God is my witness. So then, I don't want to take much of your time. What should we do now? I'm talking to you as my children. If I were asked to make suggestions, I would say quietly to our government, move fast and tell our security chiefs, get rid of these terrorists within 90 days or resign. You can.
I don't think it's rocket science. I don't think it should be rocket science. Let the military do their job. Activate them. Declare state of emergency in those states. Suspend their governors. Okay? The military some time ago said that they are not allowed, they cannot stop state governors from negotiating for ransom with bandits and terrorists and kidnappers. Okay, that they're constitutional, they can't stop them. But when you are negotiating and giving them ransom, what's happening? We see money all over the internet. They are showing up, using to buy more weapons, using to get more logistics. So why should such state governors remain? There should be state of emergency in those states. And like the Joe has said, tell your military chiefs, tell your security chiefs, this doesn't get sorted out in the next 90 days. Remove them and replace them with people who are ready. And don't pick. This has gone beyond politicking now. This has gone beyond politicking. This should be recognized as beyond politicking. Even if it started as politicking, some other miscreants have joined the group. It's become a huge industry. Huge industry. It's not sustainable. It is not sustainable. Okay? Let the military, the security chiefs know. If you 90 days, short it, 90 days, they don't replace them, reshuffle them. Yes. Let it be seen that you are doing something and something worthwhile. Okay? Okay, so we're going to go now into quickly looking at contributions from community members so that we can bring this particular live stream and podcast to a close today. The first one here says, people are saying this Oyo kidnapping is a tipping point, but protests happened after Chibok too. What's materially different from this? What's materially different from this is that Chibok was just one, that was the beginning. Now there's widespread. You have multiple sets of Nigerians, women and children inclusive, in different situations of captivity. I'm not talking about those in IDP camps. I'm talking about those that have been abducted and ransomed. And then look at the demands that the abductors are making. So it's different. It's different. Nigerians have had it. Like, no, it's enough. It's a tipping point, yes. If the government has not realized it for what it is, then I'm sorry. It's a terrible tipping point that has the potentials to bring all anarchy of unimaginable magnitude across Nigeria. This is now not an NLC. Remember, it's not an NLC or whichever Central Union calling. It's a different groups in Nigeria calling. And so you cannot go and now take the president of NLC and say, call your people back. There's still room for assuaging, the people of Nigeria by the presidency waking up and taking control of this, by letting not police now, no, by letting the military do their job. Sorry, I'm finding it difficult to say this, but I will say it. There'll be collateral damage. But Nigeria needs to be rescued. More lives, more abductions and kidnapping and overrunning of the entire country will be prevented. Okay? Another person here says this kidnapping has absolutely destroyed any hope of this current administration being re-elected. Many Nigerians are getting their PVs just because of this. I don't know what some people are talking about, Richie. Well, it's obvious. What are they going to campaign with? What? If you are offered a deal tomorrow, stop this program, all your friends and your family will be permanently, family in Nigeria will permanently say, would you take it? What is this? Where is this person coming from? Stop this program. This program is not threatening anybody. I'm not threatening anybody. I am here to state what is not right and what could be right. I'm here to tell my own stories about how Nigeria has happened to me, which is why I'm in this place in the first place. In case the person that asked this question was new here, don't know why I'm here. That's why this book is always behind me here. That's the book that they were asking me who paid you to write this book. I wrote this book 16 years ago, before President Buhari came to power. When immediately he came to power, they started hounding me. Who paid you? And people were like, what did you even write in that book? Now people should have a good understanding that certain people do not want certain things talked about in Nigeria at all. Unfortunately, you cannot stop me from telling my own story, just like you cannot stop me from running this program. So I don't know whether this is a veiled threat or whatever. Please bag it. Do you recommend that the Oyo State government gives the bandits what they... No. Capital no. Stop negotiating with bandits. If you don't show strength, if you do not show strength, it will continue. The government should show teeth. Another one here says, Kwakwanso was part of the APC government that oversaw the Kankara and Kiraga abductions. Why should anyone believe he would be different outside the government? If they don't get there, you won't know. If they don't get there, you won't know. Besides, it's a team. Okay? It's a team. It's a teamwork. There's a president, there's a vice president. But if they do not, Nigeria needs a change now. Yes. Incidentally, they are the most credible, they appear the most credible of whoever is appearing there to say he wants to be president. Okay? When they get there, that should be the beauty of democracy. They get there, they don't perform, you vote them out. Yes. So you can't preempt what they're going to do or what they're not going to do. They get there, they don't perform, you vote them out. Simple. Another one says, what are some things about Peter Obi you have seen so far that could pose a problem for Nigeria if he wins? I don't see any. He's not a greedy man. He's not hungry. He's simple. I don't see his lifestyle changing. His lifestyle and playing to the gallery that has been the problem of most of the ones that are ruled. Okay? I don't see. But every human being remains a human being. When they get there, we will see. The same way we are talking about this administration and any other ones that have gone before, it's the same way we'll talk about whatever they do or don't do when they get there. if Nigerians say they are the ones that they want to get there. Okay? This community member says, you said an NDC win will be a dignified exit for the current administration. I doubt they have any shared, or rather any shred of dignity left. There's still a dignity that could still be salvaged, and that would have to do with showing feet. One of those would be to show feet, to show this is still the federal government, Federal Republic of Nigeria. This is still the Nigerian Armed Forces in all its might, ready, unleashed to crush this monster, this hydra-headed monster, starting, including those who are sponsoring them. From that imam in Oyo to Shegumi, detained, questioned, and then if they are found culpable, let the law take its course. This whole selective treatment of, no, it hasn't worked, it won't work. Okay? It hasn't worked, it won't work. And then secondly, the next dignifying chance they have to prove that their dignity, there's still something called dignity, is election itself. If they present the election as a free and fair and credible election, look, Nigerians have an example now. Nigerians have an example. President Goodluck Jonathan, that they have gone to convince, well, I still don't believe that is true, because until he speaks by himself, until I see him on camera, say, okay, I'm contesting. Yes, I am whatever. Then I will know I've not seen him. I still believe they're just still using his name. But then he needs to speak up so that they stop using his name, if that's the truth. If he's contesting, that would be very unfortunate. If they actually come, because again, of everything that happened in his administration, Nigerians forgave him. Why? Why? Because he walked away. Although some are blaming him, he was too weak, he shouldn't have walked away. He walked away to save democracy, like he said, prevent the shed of blood, which General Buhari had promised would happen if he doesn't win. So Nigerians forgave him. So if this administration also conduct election to let whoever the people pick win and get, sworn into office, that is the get out of jail free card I'm talking about. They would have reset Nigeria back on the path of dignity, integrity, accountability, productivity, hopefully, until the people, whoever it is that wins and come in, hopefully it's Obi and Kwankwaso, when they also don't perform. That's what the electorate is there to do. Hold them accountable to the ballot. And like I said, let's not forget, we always said a referendum for Nigeria, the peoples of Nigeria, to decide how they want to relate with themselves, needs to be on the ballot for that election. And on this program, if you've been following, we believe that transitioning Nigeria to regional governance is what will save the whole Nigerian enterprise. The alternative is unthinkable. Okay? And I want to appeal, please, if you have donated already to our GoFundMe campaign for producing this book, my book, Biafra Lest We Forget To, as a documentary that would include the stories of other survivors and other victims of that war. That's not just only my story, which is what, and then my eyewitness account, not just my story, but I also shared things I saw happen, like the goats issue that I just shared here. There, I observed it. So we could include other people, feature some of those places that have become like, if BBC could spend funds to produce that obscure documentary, which is a fable of somebody's imagination, okay, then we should be able to do a documentary that will tell the story of real people, real events, things that really happen to real people, not of the soldiers who are the ones, like the video we showed, who are the ones killing people, and then not of the head of state then, who was responsible for the genocide that happened, who now says it's palm trees that were being shot at. We need to produce this documentary. Please support me. Donate to the GoFundMe campaign. And if you've not, those of you who have bought the book, we see the records. Thank you for picking copies of the book. Thank you also for donating if you have donated already. But if you haven't, please support us to donate to produce the documentary. We're going to have it in the public domain for free. I'm not selling it. The book is for sale. It's been produced, been released or published much longer than now, but it's there for sale. But the documentary itself is going to be made available for free for people to download and watch, and it will be real, and it will be factual. So thank you as you support me to have a project that's very close to my heart. Please support me to produce it by donating to the GoFundMe campaign. God bless you as you do so, okay? So on that note, I want to thank you very much for being part of our live stream podcast for today. And they say prayer guys may Nigeria never happen to you. It's always 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, US and Canada, and 1 p.m. West African time, including Nigeria. For all of you who have sent comments, liked on TikTok, sent me gifts on TikTok, thank you so very much. And we look forward to you're joining us for the next one. And until then, our prayer on this program is always, may Nigeria happen for all Nigerians and all friends of Nigeria. Thank you for being here. My name is Richie Adewusi. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.